Hello, everybody.
А что, комментаторов не будет в этот раз? Ого.
Where's a Russian commentator?
Is there no Russian commentary today?
There should be.
No.
Where's Hennessy?
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the audio isn't working.
А точно комментаторы не придут?
Должны прийти.
Okay.
А кто же сами организаторы не понимают, что происходит?
Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. I don't know whose audio is
А кто
doubling,
комментирует
but,
вообще?
we have Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. Although, as I said, I don't know where the commentator is.
А вот, все. Панацея сейчас
Give me
в
one
КС-очку 2 играет.
Anyways, I guess I'll just do an introduction. Today is the final. Russia, one of the Russian players, Amir, is scoring, so that's not good. Sorry, Nixie. He said he's rebooting his PC. Oh. Because for some reason the audio is doubling. But again, Mirror and LinXD stopped playing from 0. I'm just gonna do this to him.
Ciao.
Anyways, we're playing Collapse, and all you're just doing is just waiting for. For them, but at the moment, a lot of these teams are definitely looking for some very solid results on this final day, as both Russia and Belarus are very much dependent on that on a high-end performance.
Hennessy joined, so we
Okay,
can.
so it that way. Sorry, give me a sec.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I have to do it this way. Anyways, we can get started with the intro now that Hennessy is here. How's it going? Hello? Give me one sec. Just has some issues with the commentary. let's try this again. We can, so hello everybody, welcome to the stream. LinXD, stop playing from zero.
Did the match started or not?
No, it hasn't. We were waiting for you. So
Okay,
yeah, do the stream
thanks
intro.
guys for waiting me.
Start us off.
My Discord demonstration. Okay. Так, can I comment on Russian or not?
Yes.
Дорогие друзья, все, кто находится прямо сейчас на трансляции, спешу с вами поздороваться. Сегодня 8 марта, Международный женский день. И вместе с этим праздником стартует третий игровой день основного этапа турнира GDWT. Сегодня, как всегда, начало матча. Соответственно, будут играть Россия, Украина и Беларусь. Снова. Уже третий день подряд. Сегодняшний ростер команд выглядит так. За Украину играет fwwe, а также к нему подключается LinXD. По всему понятно, что Украина имеет на данный момент самый сильный ростер и самый сильный состав на этот матч. Со стороны России сегодня выступает снова Хотнуб, и к нему подключается еще Абубуджак. Уже со стороны Беларуси играют Некси и Терпиратор. Некси в первом матче, который состоялся 6 марта, показал неплохой уровень игры, набрав 1100 очков с лишним. Терпиратора мы не видели, выступающего за Беларусь, насколько я понимаю, по крайней мере за те 3 дня, которые турнир, основной этап его проводится, мы его не видели. So, when
We're gonna start now?
start?
All right, everybody, go to level
Да.
select screen. Get ready. We'll be beginning this level, which will be the final level of this round. In 3, 2, 1.
Так, всем
Итак,
привет,
стартовал
подключился. Да,
Фотолог,
Теперь-
Фотолог, здравствуйте.
да, я теперь тоже комментирую. Всем привет. Начинается у нас уровень. У нас, кстати говоря, Хотнуб уже выходит не как за дополнительного игрока, а как за основного. Да, и...
Да, я
Причем
хотел
он-
бы уточнить этот вопрос. Я думал, вот неужели Хотнуб опять пришел на подмогу, не играя уровень вообще от слова совсем. Но, судя по всему, сегодня будет битва гораздо более ожесточенная, чем была во время вчерашнего игрового дня.
Но, тем не менее, он вчера, кстати, показал неплохой так-то результат для первого захода в уровень.
Для первого захода в уровень уж точно он показал, в принципе, очень хороший уровень. Но нужно понимать, что Хотнуб — это, наверное, самый главный формила экстрим демонов. Я думаю, в принципе, это закономерный результат для человека, который прошел с лишним 500 экстрим демонов, если я не ошибаюсь, но у него, возможно, даже больше.
Очень много.
Но у него огромное количество проданных экстрим демонов. Я даже предположил то, что при вчерашний уровень, а именно Remove Submission, он уже проходил как-то давным-давно, потому что уровень старый, и его очень тяжело, в принципе, не заметить. И походу Хотнуб в действительности не играл в этот уровень, но даже несмотря на это поставил какие-то проценты, там 49, 48 смог, ну и какие-то квалифайинг проценты он смог все-таки набрать.
Посмотрим, как он сыграет, уже тренируя уровень. Кстати говоря, LinXD слил на последнем парте, очень обидно сейчас было. Ну, как я знаю, последний парт там очень сложно его пройти.
Сегодня я подошел к комментаторской стойке через очень долгий и очень тернистый путь захода в Voice в Discord. Это было очень неприятно сейчас, потому что мой VPN отказывается вообще работать, в принципе. Я прямо сейчас наблюдаю за трансляцией на YouTube с задержкой, чем смотря на демку в Дискорде, потому что, у меня просто она тупо не грузится, я не могу ничего с этим поделать. Я, конечно, попытаюсь сейчас снова зайти, поэтому дорогие зрители, если я буду говорить что-то с задержкой, пожалуйста, не удивляйтесь, потому что вот у меня сегодня такой форс-мажор произошел, вот как вчера был в ростере Российской Федерации форс-мажор с игроками, которые должны играть тот или иной уровень. Сегодня произошел форс-мажор уже со стороны комментаторской стойки. На ютубе какая-то тишина, вижу, что тут 12 человек. На Твиче я пока не сидел, не наблюдал, что происходит.
Есть сомнения по поводу тренировки Терператора, потому что он только один раз дошел до квалифайнг процента уже за столько времени. Ну ничего,
правда говоря,
камбэкнет.
Терператора я знаю, это очень старый игрок, и мы с ним давным-давно общались. В году так 2021-2022 максимум мы могли с ним пообщаться. Я не знаю, ну, насколько я помню, уровень скилла у него остался, ну, где-то прежним, на уровне с планки и ребуса и прочего. То есть не сильно, он на самом деле очень сильно отличающийся от того, какие игроки прямо сейчас участвуют в данном матче. То есть Hotnoob, у него там Hardest Oblivion, Nexi, он прошел Colossens, там очень много уровней из листа. Я не знаю, какой у него Hardest, но у него именно по пробитию уровней, именно планки скилла какой-то определенной, вот у него огромное количество уровней. А Бубуджак тоже нужно понимать, что у него тоже очень много уровней пройдено. Hotnoob вообще там просто сказка. LinXD и VHFire буквально сейчас топ-3 Украины. А вот они входят в топ-3 Украины. LinXD и VHFire, они где-то вот барахтаются в VHFire топ-2, а LinXD топ-3. Поэтому я ставлю сегодня на Украину.
Примерно. Да.
Ну, у LinXD есть пару казусных моментов, заключающийся в том, что многие его обвиняют в накрутке попыток на некоторых уровнях, особенно там на форворке какие-то числа космические по типу 6000 попыток. Много кто не верит, что VHPR мог в действительности пройти без накрутки, без скрутки попыток. Накручивают кое-какие другие люди на одной платформе. Ну и накрутка попыток в ГД тоже довольно частая практика. Люди хотят подавить на жалость, тем самым показав, что вот у них есть выдержка, менталка у них хорошая, что они сидят там, играют в уровень. Но я сугубо лично, я вообще не вижу в этом никакого смысла, чтобы накручивать, типа, на жалость давить. Ну, мне кажется, это максимально странно.
Не знаю, как накрутка попыток, но накрутка очков, мне кажется, у Украины точно есть, потому что уже 500 у ВХФР и практически 500 у LinkedIn, если бы он прошел сейчас, но он опять слил в конце. А тем временем, кстати, в Беларуси и в России примерно одинаковое количество очков. Это, ну, неплохой результат с учетом того,
но сейчас очки у России могут взлететь в небеса, потому что Hotnoob находится на 91%, и он может пройти уровень прямо сейчас.
Хорошо, ситуация.
И он в действительности проходит. Он проходит коллапс.
Перезапускает уровень, кстати.
Ну и соответственно перезапускает уровень. Он играл с шейками. Ну и еще на full детейле играет он.
Да, это когда
очков для своей команды.
Проходит уже 6 минут. За 6 минут так-то нормально все показывают все результаты. Только Терператор что-то не везет ему, видимо.
Я пытаюсь зайти на демку еще раз.
116 очков набирает пока что.
Блин, я не могу зайти на демку. Не получается. Мора в чате, дорогие друзья, наставник, тренер. Свободное плавание.
Привет, Мора.
Пишут в чате, что у меня большая задержка, да. Как я и говорил, что мне просто не получается за счет того, что я живу в какой стране, зайти нормально на демку в Дискорде. Просто Дискорд не дает этого сделать адекватно. Причем я перезапускал запреты и прочее, и врубал Cloudflare Warp. Но у меня просто не получается зайти в Discord. У меня просто отказывается это работать. У меня отказывается
Блин,
Cloudflare Warp
обидно, если
запускаться.
Hotnoob сейчас был.
Да, 90%.
Ну, в основном
ставят
все
Hotloop.
сливаются как раз в конце, да. За то, о чем я говорил.
Там, судя по всему, там очень неприятное место. Я вижу, что там какой-то стритфлау неприятный, не свойственный для таких уровней. Вот такой вот планки сложности, именно легких экстрим демонов. Кто комментирует? Сегодня на комментаторской стойке комментирует для вас Фодолог и я, РК Герон.
Все пока что в начале. Интерпретатор снова набирает очки.
Терпиратор медленно, но верно продвигается. Нужно понимать,
Да,
что терпиратор придерживается тактики «тише едешь, дальше будешь».
Его единственная надежда это просто фармить квалифайнг проценты.
Ну, слушай, ну кто
Да,
как
да, да.
надежду, в принципе, воспринимает. Вот я воспринимаю сейчас надежду на то, что у меня запустится демонстрация экрана в Дискорде, и я наконец-то могу уже в реал-тайме говорить вам вообще о том, что происходит во время матча. А так пока возвожу вот эту вот задачу на Фодолога, потому что я не хочу, чтобы я говорил в задержку, там, когда игрок уже прошел. Это будет, да, в действительности странно. Я буду говорить, в
да.
принципе, там какую-то другую, там, несусветную дичь, как обычно.
Было бы неплохо для Некси получить побольше саппорта, потому что уже разница огромная между Россией и Беларусью. А Hotloop вроде как прошел, если не ошибаюсь, либо там же где-то в конце слил.
Блин, я не заметил,
Надо
я
набрать
не
очков.
заметил, я проворонил этот момент.
Hotloop
ВХФР
прям
находится...
вырывается.
ВХФР не находится, ВХФР сливается на 79%.
Заметь, Hotloop прям вырывается вперед. Он
Да,
становится MVP.
Хотнубу еще парочку комплишенов, за 6 минут 2 комплишена, я думаю, он сможет потянуть. И Россия, наконец-то, не будет на 3-м месте. Нужно понимать, что, в принципе, именно таблица ведется не по группам, а именно по общей составляющей. То есть
Да,
очки
точно так же, как и
суммируются в общую
ладно.
группу, где находятся уже другие страны, помимо стран СНГ, которые сейчас сражаются в сегодняшнем матче. Так, где
Нужно
Хотнуб находится?
учитывать результат всех стран.
Хотнуб сейчас
только
находится
этой
на 70, насколько я понимаю, у меня задержка же.
Да, уже там приблизительно к ластпарту подходит.
ВХФР тоже приближается к нему. У ВХФРа есть отличный шанс пройти уровень и помочь Украине сохранить свое первое место в этом матче.
Так,
Hotloop
да,
находится на
за
ластпарте.
Hotloop'ом, да.
Проходит стритфлай.
И он проходит.
Он проходит уровень. Хотнуб прям керит сегодня.
Да,
Вот что если дать уровень и дать нормальное время на подготовку, получается
Сегодня
такой вот
Россия-
результат закономерный.
Сегодня Россия уверенно себя
1117
показывает.
очков.
Хороший керинг от
1117.
Hotloop'а и хороший саппорт от Апуба Бабуджака, который уже доходит до второго полпроцента.
Но нужно понимать, что Бабуджаку нужно больше, а тем временем ВХФР проходит уровень, и Украина снова обгоняет Россию в этом матче.
Да, прям битва такая между Украиной и Россией. Казалось бы.
Битва за
Хотя,
фильм Пола Томаса.
да,
Андерсона.
но при этом мы видим то, что вот со стороны России у нас огромный керинг и хороший саппорт, а со стороны Украины у нас равномерно игроки двигаются. Хотя вот LinXD... А нет, у него только 60%.
Если Абубуджак перестанет эндюрить на этом уровне, если он пройдет уровень хотя бы один раз, это должно, по сути, помочь России занять первое место в этом матче.
Так,
Чтобы
LinXD
очень сильно не
приближается
помешало,
к концу.
учитывая
Нет!
то, какие результаты были у России в предыдущие дни ввиду многих форс-мажорных ситуаций.
Некзи очень обидно слил на 94 вроде.
Да, мы совсем забыли про Беларусь. Пока мы смотрели на то, что происходит со стороны России и Украины, мы совсем забыли про Беларусь. Терпиратор-то выходит на квалифайнг процент.
Ура, радуемся за него.
Да, Терпиратор
Он
на
поставил
квалифайнг
новый
проценте.
рекорд. Неужели он как вчера Hotloop первый раз зашел в уровень?
Да, судя по всему, да. Судя по всему, форс-мажорные обстоятельства случились и в Беларуси. О чем, кстати, игроки Беларуси предупреждали меня вчера. В следующий игровой день, насколько я понимаю, который уже состоится, ну, не завтра, по крайней мере, форс-мажорные обстоятельства должны по логике состояться у Украины, но по правде, правда ради, украинские игроки, они как-то более ответственно подходят к турниру и проявляют гораздо большую инициативу, чем вот происходит сейчас условно в командах там России и Беларуси. То есть нужно понимать, что там гораздо более ответственно подходит к выбору ростера, к выбору игроков, которые будут участвовать в каких-то определенных матчах. Что, соответственно, вводит Украину на первое место не только в этом матче, а по сумме вообще всех очков. В предыдущем матче 6 и 7 марта они тоже занимали первое место.
Остается 2,5 минуты уровня. И, кстати говоря, не сильно прям много очков у всех. Я думал, будет там, ну, хотя бы под 1500.
Сейчас Россия и Украина, они борются прям наравне. Абубуджак, к сожалению, умирает на 59%, я это не... Надеюсь, это не совсем сильно задержка, то у меня большая. Linux
Оба
D,
игрока
Fire.
Украины уже там практически в конце. Могут хорошие поинты сейчас принести. Нет, Fire сливается, Linux D все еще проходит.
Неприятная смерть у Fire, но в любом случае это приносит ему,
Linux
по
D
крайней
проходит,
мере,
да. Плюс 250.
2 очки. Сейчас от Абубджака и Хотнуба мы ждем только комплишены. Мы ждем только комплишены Абубджака.
Да, будет красиво, если они сейчас камбэкнут. И Беларусь,
Это будет очень интересно. Ну, Беларусь, понятное дело, терпиратор ввиду форс-мажорных обстоятельств впервые зашел в уровень, поэтому я думаю... Ладно, я прерву свою мысль тем, что Абубджак умер на 53%.
Нет, если
Приятным
терпиратор действительно первый раз зашел в уровень, то так-то 400 поинтов, это очень даже хорошо за 15 минут.
Хотнуб, тем временем, он не умер пока, да?
Нет, не умер, у него 76 уже.
Комплишн, только комплишн требуется сейчас. Комплишн или старт уровня от Хотнуба?
Нет, 80. Уже все, последняя минута остается.
Все, тогда за оставшиеся 50 секунд сыграть ту победную попытку, которая очень сейчас нужна России. Очень нужна России. Эти 250 очков, они могут сыграть очень большую и злую шутку, если как-то сложится все не так в группе.
Видимо,
нужно
вот,
выходить, нужно попадать в восьмерку, нужно попадать в восьмерку лучше, чтобы выйти в плей-офф, в четвертьфинал.
Да, кстати, это правда. Не знаю, видимо, занервничали на экзите терпиратора Бабубуджак, потому что вот последние минуты что-то не особо они вроде как продвигаются. Но...
Ну ты смотри на белорусских
стороны...
игроков в том числе. С левой стороны
да.
мы видим, как Украина просто разматывает коллапс. ВХФ тоже
кстати,
проходит уровень.
Смотри, Некзи уже в третьем квалифайнге.
I don't think Linux's attempt counts, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna let him, but I'm not.
Да.
Мы видим, как Украина просто разматывает коллапс. Очень сильно ВХФ тоже на собой очень сильно влияет.
Смотри, Некзи уже в третьем
It's
квалифайнге.
really
Коллапс.
close.
I'll let him play it out, but I don't think it counts.
It's like genuinely, it's so close. I actually think this might. Nope, doesn't count.
Did he make it?
Yeah, I figured.
Doesn't count? Не, все-таки не засчитывают Некзи попытку.
That was really close.
Надо
Though.
было, видимо, проспамить.
Я хочу убить
Хотнуба
себя.
не
Все
защитит.
пошло не по плану, абсолютно.
Нужно понимать, что у вас
Ну, всё,
форс-мажорные
последний попытки
обстоятельства в виде
у людей.
температора. Абубджак ставит 68%, доходит до первого квалифайнга. Чуть-чуть совсем ему не хватило до второго квалифайнга дойти, чтобы набрать уже двукратное количество очков.
Да, ну 955.
Но это все, это уже все. Хотнуб находится на 70 плюс.
С ВХФР
Он
вместе.
доходит до второго квалифайнга. ВХФР тем временем тоже доходит до второго
Look at this
квалифайнга.
synced completion.
Да, они одновременно прям идут.
Hopefully
Прям,
they can
да,
both
вот.
beat it. No,
Они одновременно идут, я
oh,
как будто бы
Wi-Fi
Осу тут,
does.
я как будто бы
И
Осу
одновременно
тут.
почти сливаются.
You're done with fire.
Ай-яй-яй.
Wait, how come Linux is here?
Чё, какая? Тема вышла?
Блять, слава богу,
Because that one
на
didn't
первый
count from
дошел.
Linux Deed, yeah. So,
Yeah, sorry. It was very
That's
close.
counter.
it was close. It was
Your
like
last-
it was like 2 frames. I counted.
Чё? Чё? 1800?
Какое говно,
Oh, that's so
просто
funny, I
я
got
хуже
the-
всех.
Просто
I
это
got the
просто
I got the
дерьмо,
breakout
блин,
song right at
блин.
the end of the match, which
Вася,
is
сколько ты
the
поставил?
this level is the
Я
secret
98
breakout.
слился на последней попытке своей, потому что я долбоёб.
It's playing right now.
Блять. А я буквально рекорд поставил.
У меня 68 даст, в принципе.
Блин, ну
Зачем,
я
блядь?
очень тупо сливал.
Я
В данном матче,
сегодня,
в данном
когда
матче
тренил,
хотнуп...
на второй половине не сливал почти никогда. Сейчас каждая попытка вторая половина, и каждая попытка какой-то слив просто, как будто у меня мозгов нету.
У меня, вот ты знаешь, переход на ласт. Я 3 раза умер перед этим переходом на ласт.
Ну ты дошел хотя бы.
Я только 2 раза прошел.
Берем такое своеобразное интервью игроков, которые сейчас только что закончили свой матч.
Какая залупа.
Как насколько понимаете, Хотнуп сегодня является MVP.
Yeah, Hot Noob
Так,
is the
у
MVP.
кого-то эхо. У кого-то эхо. Нет, не эхо, все хорошо. Но, несмотря на то, что Хотнуп является MVP, Украина уже в 3-й подряд игровой день забирает первое место в данном матче. Россия, наконец-то, даже не видно моего удивления, но сегодня они забирают 2-е место, и они очень хорошо боролись с Украиной за 1-е место. Беларусь, ввиду форс-мажорных обстоятельств, которые случились теперь у них, а не у России, забирают 3-е место с 1800 очками. Где-то, ну, я не знаю, я неправильно поддерживал вообще. Ну, получается все, вот такой вот был матч. Скажу, по моей сугубо личной риторике, этот матч был гораздо интереснее, чем вчерашний, потому что нужно понимать, что сегодня уже была какая-то, ну, не ожесточенная, но борьба тоже была какая-то интересная, и за этим было гораздо более зрелищно наблюдать, чем за тем, что было вчера.
Да, ну, причем не только этот матч, но и в целом весь этап в этой группе вот, Украина, Россия, Беларусь.
Фадолок, на этом все получается с группой? Больше матчей,
Да.
в основном, больше матчей в группу стейджа не проводится?
Конкретно в этих стран, да, все. Ну, дальше еще будут там другие играть сегодня.
Хорошо. Мы не знаем, да, кто выходит в плей-офф прямо сейчас, а кто нет. Украина, я думаю, точно выходит в плей-офф, учитывая то, что они набрали довольно солидное количество очков, и они забирали в своих матчах только 1-е места 3 дня подряд. Я думаю, они 100% выходят в плей-офф. Вот по поводу России и Беларуси я уже начинаю немножко сомневаться. Но я думаю, в принципе...
Мы последние, у нас нет шансов.
Я думаю, у вас нет шансов вообще, вы
Мы
последние.
буквально последние.
Да.
Из всех.
Ё-моё. Даже,
вы,
Гре-
я
даже
успешно
Греция,
заруинил.
даже у Греция условно даже выше
Нет,
стоит.
я тоже отсосал, мы бы все равно не смогли ничего.
Ну, я буду надеяться на то, что Россия сможет попасть в 8-ку. Потому что я не знаю, у меня нет сейчас на глазах какой-то определенной таблицы. Hey,
Ну, у
but,
них шансы
can
прям
you
очень маленькие.
send the
Break
table
What?
of points of all teams?
What do you mean? It's on the screen.
It's on the screen. It's for Russian, Belarus, and Ukraine group. I mean all group, all countries.
Well, I mean,
I want to
if you
know
do,
Russia.
if you do exclamation mark
Kind
standings
of
in the chat,
playoff
you
stage.
check the chat. Oh, like who's advancing? You mean? Like who's gonna get to
Da,
the next
yes.
round? We don't know that yet because it's very dependent on what happens to everybody else. So if like literally every single other team beats all of these teams, then like Ukraine could like not make it. And then like Russia and Belarus need like everybody that's gonna play after them to finish below them. So you have to keep watching
Без
basically
шансов.
to find out.
Thank you. So can I say goodbye to all viewers?
Well,
And we
no,
go
because
for
they
break
have
time.
to. As I said, if we keep, they don't know how the country's gonna do until we find out the rest of the stream, right? But yeah, the next match we'll be having will be the Baltics, Italy, and this is
Пацаны,
it's
спасибо за
Romania.
игру.
Baltics, I
спасибо за игру,
believe.
пацан.
Those are the teams.
Я, конечно, залажал, пипец.
В общем-то, подождать
Wait,
нужно,
that doesn't
чтобы
sound
узнать.
Да, ну, будем ждать, будем
Anyways.
действительно наблюдать за теми матчами, которые будут потом, чтобы потом узнать, выйдет ли Россия в плей-офф,
Here
выйдет
we
ли
got Czechoslovakia,
Беларусь,
Romania,
плюс послание.
Sweden, and Denmark. Those are the teams.
Okay, I hear you. So, shall we say goodbye to all viewers? of stream?
Well,
Or
no,
Russian?
because I mean, even though the stream won't be in Russian, it'll still matter to them on what happens, right?
So there is no will be more matches after
There's three
Russian
more.
versus Ukraine. Just 3 more. I say goodbye to all Russian viewers.
I mean, sure, but again, as I said, if you're Team Russia, you kind of need to watch the rest of the stream to see if everybody else scores less points than Russia, because that's what has to happen for them in Belarus as well. They need everybody else to finish below them. So, if at the moment they're not in, but if you keep watching, maybe
I will
they
say
finish below you.
that they need to stay on the stream to watch the situation of the group.
Yeah, see how the rest
But
of
they say
everything
goodbye
goes.
as commentator for
As the
Russian.
commentator, yes. Goodbye. But the stream continues. Alright.
Ну,
We're gonna-
получается, все, ребят. Всем спасибо, кто смотрел данный матч. Еще следующий, как сказал Патрик, будет еще проводиться 3 матча. И, пожалуйста, если вам интересно пронаблюдать за ситуацией в группе, выйдете Россия 8 лучших игроков, не игроков, 8 лучших стран, и выйдет ли она вообще в плей-офф, в одну четвертьфинала, то можете оставаться, потому что дальше следующие матчи тоже, думаю, будут зрелищными. Но я заканчиваю свое вещание как комментатор со стороны русской части. Всем спасибо, кто слушал меня сегодня. Подолог, твое слово.
Да, в общем-то, если интересно, попадет ли Россия в плей-офф, просто смотрите дальше, что будет. А так, на этом все от нас.
От нас все. Желаю вам хорошего времяпровождения вечером. Всем пока.
Всем пока.
Okay, but
Alright, we're
that's
gonna
all.
head to break time. We'll see you when we are ready. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2026 GD Euros Round 1. Today is the last day of GD Euro Round 1. So we'll find out who the last 8 teams are. Before, you just saw the round that was broadcast in the Russian language between Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. And all three of them, I'd say all three of them probably had their best performance of for their team of all the levels that they've played, especially Russia. They look pretty good today. They're going to need a lot of help, though. They're going to need a lot of these teams probably to finish below them. And we'll see what the scores end up looking like for these teams. We got Czechoslovakia, we have Romania, we have Sweden, and we have Denmark. A lot of... We did just realize that Denmark has the position set to 8, even though, like... There you go. Anyways, 3 of the 4 enter in qualifying, but Denmark has actually a points tie with Portugal. I didn't flex it because I usually kind of only did that for mainly the regional rounds. since it's kind of like, I don't know, like if people want to see like the final qual spots, the champion, it's a champion of this round, doesn't really get a lot. Anyways, I think we're going to start playing, right? So everybody can go on the level select screen. And we will begin on my countdown. We will start the match in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, and we're off. So for anyone who didn't watch the previous match or just needs a quick reminder of the highest points scored on this level so far, 3,207 by Ukraine. So that is the current score to beat for these teams.
Yeah, you could see the qual percent is at 25. This is a strangely chalk. I didn't mention this because obviously the previous round is in Russian, but I find it really funny how the qualifying percents are 25, 50, and 74. Like it's one away from just being it's one away from just being 25, 50, 75, which means that this level must actually be balanced pretty well in that case.
It's basically spot on. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Has this ever happened before?
Not to this extent, no, I don't think so. Not that I could think of. 25, 50, 74. Romania is a team that is known for the fact that in the very first ever GD World Tournament, their team went on a run all the way to the GD World Tournament semifinals. 2025 was shaping up to be an even better year for them. They ended up winning the GD Euros. They are the defending champions. But in the GD World Tournament, they got somewhat surprisingly dumped in the group stage. They did not get out of the group it was like the last attempt that it was super close. They really could have made the knockout stage. Space here gets a completion, as we can see. That is our first completion, I believe, of the day. Denmark is, they're going to be pressured to put on some points, especially because you definitely want to be able to pass Baltics today. They're going to play after this, and I feel like that's just kind of like going to be... Stretch this thing out a little bit more, I think.
What are your expectations for how the teams are going to perform? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, it's it can go a multitude of different ways, There's if you look at the standings though, Czechoslovakia does have the edge, but at the moment it's kind of been Denmark that's been dominating the scoreline to start, and they probably saw that tie with Portugal. At the moment they basically needed they need that win here in order to take that spot from Portugal. Portugal would need a bad performance from the Baltics for them to be able to sneak by, unless they score higher than Denmark. That's currently the ordeal here. Sweden, one thing I'll say about Sweden is that, well, for one, Aruvis just got to the ending, and that's going to be a completion for Aruvis. Their first points of the day results in a completion and puts Sweden back in it. Sweden has been one of the surprise teams of this round, and it kind of remains to be seen how they will stack. USB gets a completion for themselves for Romania. That's going to jump them even higher. Romania is another team kind of on the outside. Romania is kind of on the outside looking in as well. Looking at the standings right now, you'll see if we stopped now, Romania would be eliminated from the tournament. But
Romania with a good performance, they could make it.
But that's what I said. Like, they're not that far back. They are still. It says they're 3 points back, but again, if they're able to secure a head-to-head over Denmark, that would mean a lot. Czechoslovakia just gets a completion here, which is gonna add points to the board here. Brumik with their completion here.
That
so why it's not registering yet. There you go. I have to do a few more manual refreshes. This match, which I don't know, happens on some matches. We'll do that. You can see Denmark is still holding on to the lead, which again would be a bit of a surprise outcome if they're able to hold on to this. They
just took it back.
Denmark was Denmark was the second to last team to even qualify for the Euros. Of the 16 teams, they were ranked number 15. So them placing top 8 would be quite an accomplishment with that, you know. It also opens the floor for, as I said, a possibility of 2 Nordic teams making it to the last 8, or 0 Nordic teams that made it to the last 8. And again, just for the northern region, if it's them and Baltics and Portugal isn't the one to get in, then that's quite the performance from Northern Europe. They would have 4 of the 8 teams would just come from that one region, which would be quite the accomplishment. You can see, though, Pluntix gets a completion, the sole Eastern representative in this match. Oh no, Romania is too. That's right. We have 2 Easts and 2 Northern teams. Currently on pace, we could see that Ukraine scored the highest with 3,207 points. At the moment, nobody is on track to surpass that. We can see that Denmark and Czechoslovakia are in a dead tie, though. So there's that. Another points
I think
refresh.
Puntix's points didn't go through. They should be ahead.
Now they are, yep.
So for a relatively even match so far, all things considered. See if the players ramp up coming into the second half here. Only about a minute and a half to 7.5 minute mark. USB did just pick up the completion, so that's gonna be great for Romania. So that puts them ahead of Denmark now by a couple points, although Czechoslovakia still holding the lead now.
Yeah, at the moment now Denmark is trailing into 3rd place. They had the early lead, but as I said, getting the win over if they're able to pass these teams, that would mean kind of absolutely everything. Aruvis here gets a completion. Good news for Sweden here.
Even more trouble for Denmark now, though. They're just barely ahead of Sweden. I think with
Not really barely. I mean, that's still like another 2. That's still another like 250 points on them.
No, I think their points didn't go through. Did they?
Thought they did. Oh no, it's a 2-point game.
Okay, I see. Although Space Italy is currently decently far, so once they die, then they should.
Yeah, it's gonna be Space.
By a couple more points, but still very close.
It's probably Space 53, if I was guessing, would be how you would say it.
They got just been 6 things I know what
yeah.
that was supposed to be. I know Roman numerals, although I piece that together. Oh, they did just die. I didn't see where. They were very far though.
Who's this? Referring to? Who did? I could tell you. Oh, they refresh.
I think they're in the 80s.
We got USB picks up a completion for Romania.
Another completion for Romania. That what's the?
It's it within just really close. We just have a 1 completion game between the top 3. Denmark barely within that 1 completion game territory, but it was kind of Denmark that started off hot, but now the more established teams have been starting to make a point in this round, and again, for a lot of these teams, their fate will be got a bit of a everybody's back here.
There we go. Very important for the teams to pull out very good individual performances here. As far as I can tell, no one's locked in yet, so you really want to have the best odds you can. Just do the best you can in the match.
No, nobody so far, except the Netherlands, I believe, has locked a place into the next round. They did that yesterday because they got first on the first 2 days, which meant that they can't get a place worse than 7th, even if they get dead last today. But
that was a completion from Aruvis just now. So
we did get that completion here from Aruvis, thus further increasing the closeness. Though here we go, Space 53 gets a completion. That's absolutely massive for Denmark right here, especially now USB gets one of their own. And that's their 3rd in a row. Again, if Romania, I would argue if they want to be able to get to the next round, they need that point against Czechoslovakia. With the way that it seems like results are kind of veering towards, they would very much want that. Because I could see this coming down to tiebreakers. I could see this coming down to the last possible point. One thing I actually never mentioned here.
Are a couple points out of Czechoslovakia right now, but really hoping to pull ahead here. This one's game between the two of them, really between any of the teams, like a couple completions coming in from anyone could completely change how the match is looking.
Yeah, it's the case here. I mean, see, a lot of these players are far. You can see Brumic and Rocco are in like the same exact place. If they can both beat the level at the same time, yeah. Like totally synced with each other. Space gets a death here.
Yep, that's a death to 82. So that puts I think Pontics is the furthest of any player right now. Could pick up another completion.
This could be another completion, but right now Romania has been having the lead, and I think, as I said, their goal, they kind of want to prove, like, they're one of the giants when it comes to Europe. They kind of started off as an underdog in 2024, but then they kind of showed their worth, and they've been, a sort of like a giant sense. It's just a 2-point game between the two of them, though Rocco here is at the ending, and this completion would be huge for Romania.
Could be a response completion, yeah.
You don't have much time left, actually, to the point where it seems like Ukraine will finish above them. I think for Russia's sake, I think the biggest deal is do these teams pass Russia, right? Because if they all finish below, we start to entertain the idea of, like, could they really make like the greatest comeback in GD World Tournament history?
It's entirely possible, but it's definitely to come down to the wire here. From the
I think Romania is going to pass them, though. From what it looks like, they're already like pretty close to that. With 3 minutes to go, Czechoslovakia might actually pass them too. If they get a double completion, that'll be the case.
It's entirely possible. Like, there's a world where they don't, but like, especially Brumic dies to 89,
Brumic,
so yeah.
But that is a completion for USB though.
No, it's
not. You could see the case for Pluntics here. They're getting far as well, and I mean, Czechoslovakia is already in a pretty good position. They're kind of mainly wanting to play for placement. It looks like they're going to qualify. Getting top 2 does matter, as you get control of the dates that you get to play on for the next round. Basically, like, top 1 gets to choose like one level. Like, let's say you want like level A on like a Saturday really badly. If you win, you can do that.
Make everyone play Love 0.
Well, no, you don't get to pick the level. You just, like, after the levels are chosen, then you get to decide, like, what day it's played on, basically. And then the first place gets first dibs on that, and then the second place picks the other, and then obviously the one that's left over is the one that's left over. And that's how it works for this next round. So it does give you a bit of an incentive to actually do well in your region.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. While that was happening, there was a completion from Pluntics. Brumic is also pretty far. Could potentially be the completion here.
Let's see again, the other thing that's worth mentioning, I think, is how possible is it for Sweden to choke away their position, because they started the day, I believe, in 5th place. Is either 5th or 6th, and there is a non-zero chance if they lose to Denmark here and other things like don't go their way, they could end the day. They could end the day missing the next round entirely. Hasn't really been entertained much, but they need this win over Denmark. That would like kind of mean a lot to them. We're in the final minute here. We'll get the deafenings. I actually kind of forgot to mention. You guys have the same numbers that you take the same numbers you had before, and then I'll do 7 and 8. That works.
While that was happening, there was a completion for USB. Brumic and I believe Aruvis were both very close, just barely missed out. Denmark actually... Okay, let's get the point fresh yet. Denmark ahead of Sweden now by...
Denmark is ahead of Sweden, and as I said, you're going to want to start to see this. Both Romania and Czechoslovakia now have a legitimate chance to try and pass Ukraine here.
With a double completion, or at least just.
We got a
very
48
hard
death from
completion.
Rocco, which honestly might be a good thing for Romania.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they can make
Yes,
the
one
most of
more
this,
attempt.
if they can make the most of this here.
You'll see between Czechoslovakia, Romania, and between.
All right,
Sweden
final
and
10
Denmark. It's really
seconds.
gonna come down to the wire here for placements. Okay, so I'll be watching Romania
Yep.
closely. We'll. Yep. So 3, 2, 1, and that puts everyone on their last attempts now.
All right, Shinxer.
Oh, I believe Shinzer just died.
Yep. Shinxer is all set.
Brumic died.
Brimmick just died.
Brumic, you're gone. You're done.
You can see Merrick is still going.
Pluntix at the
Pluntix has
ending.
now just
Pluntix
died at the
dies.
very ending.
That's Pluntix.
But
Pluntix is
again,
down.
Brumus gets this here, and I think this is going to secure
Oh,
Denmark,
Rocco just died.
and it's just gonna be I think it's just USB
Rocco,
and
you're
space that are
finished.
left, right?
Yep, these are the last two. Rocco, you're done. See if Space can pick up the completion. You're getting very far.
There is 125 run. I might have to go in and review to be removed. But we'll see. So Space is now at the ending. He has beaten the level. It is now complete for Space.
Oh,
USB
is
died.
done.
USB has died, and that means it is concluded. All I need to do is just one little check
USB
because
died.
USB. I do notice that which one was one of the would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 5, which is a Ruvis. I need to check and see if this this final attempt even counted for you, because I think this isn't gonna count. We'll see. 3. It doesn't. Ooh, that's unfortunate for a Ruvis. The 96 death happened like just mere frame. Oh wait, he didn't even score after that. There was somebody else that I swore had a. It was the one after Ruvis, which would be Boomless. Okay, their last attempt was. Oh yeah, this is this 13 run that's super close. They didn't get it though, so that 13 is the attempt after 13 is not going to count. This 25 will be removed from Sweden. That could make a difference later on. We'll just have to see about that if it ends up meaning anything. Anyways, final scores. We have Sweden with 2,360, Denmark with 2,569, Czechoslovakia with 3,076, and Romania gets 3,392, which puts them above Ukraine and currently in first place on the day, which is just absolutely massive for this Romania team. Anyways, we're gonna head to break, and after that, we're going to play our next set of matches. So we'll see you then.
Ja, dat is op je ballen.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third set of matches we have here. There's just not that many teams left. We're halfway through the day today, and it's halfway through the last day. And now we're going to start to see some probably chaos here. Baltics, as you can see on the placement line, they are at 8th. That means that they would be the last team to qualify for the next round at our current state. Germany is currently 3 places out of qualifying, which for a, they had a surprising collapse at the, okay, no pun intended, sorry. They had a surprising collapse at the end of the Western European Cup, in which they went from 3rd place to 5th place, not automatically qualifying, but they rebounded with a really solid bloodbath performance. But here again, their Euro hopes lie largely on this level now. They need to score points or else their journey will end. For Baltics, the same could be said to maybe a bit of a lesser extent. Italy, you don't want to do nothing today, but they've built themselves some equity that they could still like have a bit of an off day and still advance. Denmark already played. They did, they got, oh, someone's stream ended. Alright, we're gonna get started now. Everybody go to level select screen.
Okay.
Alright, we'll be beginning the match. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, we have begun this match here.
Is it still possible for Russia to qualify? I'm very much invested in
Like, I think Romania doing that well doesn't help them. I'll say that.
Russia is in 4th. It is no longer possible for
It's
Russia
no
to
longer
qualify.
possible.
No, they had to get top 3 and already 3 teams have
Well, no,
beaten
because none
them.
of these teams have scored yet, so they're about to gain, like, 3 points for the time being, right?
No, they had to get top
Oop, team froze.
3 this match, and already 3 teams have beaten Russia.
Oh, they're in 4th
so they
now.
cannot
Okay,
get
yeah,
top
they
3
can't get
anymore.
top 3.
Yeah.
I see.
So it's over for Russia.
They're, in that case, a bit of a surprise here. I mean, they're a team that, kind of perennially there. And round 1 of the final qualifiers next month is gonna be kind of fire, honestly. Like, we already have Poland there, Russia there, like, Argentina from the Americas is the best team there that didn't get the... Oh, we also have whoever gets dead last in Americas this week. Because, okay, we got a completion from Sudi. You could see, strangely, we had, so the Euros has 8 spots that are either final qualifiers by or direct qualification. Americas gets 7 of those spots, but the direct quals are the same. That's mainly just because there's a lot more of like the balanced teams that are there. So actually getting top 8 here, well, this is something that oops, Murder's doing something. Okay. Something that hasn't really been, mentioned much during these is the fact that the top 8 here will be able to get out of what would be the hardest route to reach the GD World Tournament, which is going through round 1 of qualifiers, which will be later this year.
Because you'd have to play against me.
Yeah, definitely not because of like Russia and like Poland and like those teams.
No, cold spaghetti, but they tell like scary campfire stories around me, dude. Or like they tell scary stories about me. I'm like the boogeyman. Yeah, that'll be exciting. A lot of interesting teams going in there, so that'll be fun. Currently now though, Baltics in the lead by just over 100 points here. Very close between Italy and Germany. Still pretty early on, so could be anyone's game.
Interestingly, So on the Americas side, since you guys probably don't really hear much about it, Argentina finished in 9th, so they did not qualify. But as for the top 8, we have an interesting thing. Well, the Euros has been filled with all new teams. The Americas Cup, largely the same as last year. 7 of the 8 teams that qualified for the Americas Cup last year will be returning. That includes the United States, Mexico, Canada, Chile, Venezuela, Brazil. The other one, who am I missing? Peru. And then, so all 7 of those teams were in it last year. But the new team this year is Panama. They finished 2nd in the North America region, beating Mexico and Canada, only not beating the United States. So they might be a team to watch out for as well. Anyways, in regards to this match, Sudi has been having a great start here. As we can see, they have easily the most points out of anybody here. They're a team that is slightly desperate to do well. They had a rough match 1, but they've seemed like they've kind of made up for it in the past. So it'll sort of remain to be seen how the rest of this match goes. But it's going to be, a lot of it's going to be on the Baltics, Italy, and Germany as well to see which teams will qualify. As I said, in Italy's case, they shouldn't be entirely discounting like what's going on right now. I don't know what Murder's kind of doing weird stuff.
Murder just toggled no clip on.
No clip,
Yeah,
33.56%. Those are now.
I actually don't.
You should.
Is that the thing?
No clip, 33.56%. You remember that one time? I don't remember which team it was, but...
Is that the exact
people were
percent where the
accusing
person... What?
Someone was accused of no clipping during a GDWT match, and everyone in chat cited exactly.
Oh yeah!
33.56%.
No, I do remember that now. But they didn't actually cheat. It was because they were just doing like so well, and they all said like at the specific place that they were like no clipping.
No.
So now that's no clip 33.56%. Those are now.
I think the funniest part is I set that around like 31, so it was close. I believe Murder might be giving us our 2nd completion of this match here, potentially. Now in the 90s. Yep, we'll see if I can close it out. Yep,
There you
we
go, there's a
That's
completion.
for Italy. That
We have a
now-
dead tie for first place.
Yeah, that ties up with the... Oh, no. Points updated. They're ahead.
It was a tie for a little bit.
And now they're ahead 97 points. I think only 2 completions.
93,
match.
but
I guess,
yeah. It's not a lot of scoring this match so far, and
Yeah, almost halfway through now.
if you're Romania, this is great news, by the way. Like, they look like they might be able to save their GD Euro hopes, but again, nothing's guaranteed. At the moment, you can see Baltics actually find themselves outside of the last 8. Remains to be seen how the rest of that will go.
Yeah,
But just
very
something-
close between these 3
Something just like interesting to note, as I said, is that the level of play in these Euros have just been so much higher than last year's. Like, it just feels like people were not this good at the levels back, like last year when we did the GD Euros. For a team like Germany, like there used to be certain teams that were just like kind of powerhouses that nobody really expected to really lose until like the end. There isn't really a team you can say that about anymore. Like there is no like just inevitable powerhouse anymore, it feels like. Because a lot of the teams you would imagine would be that have had scary instances this tournament. In fact, there's not many teams where I could say haven't really had to be scared at least once. Maybe like England, I could say. Like they have gone through like almost no adversity these Euros just because they've been kind of...
England and Czechoslovakia.
Them
I'd
too,
say.
yeah. Czechoslovakia hasn't really had to go through any adversity. but pretty much everybody else has. Like, it's very intriguing. Let's see.
Yeah, it is very
Happening
interesting
else.
because these top tier teams that you would expect to consistently do well, like Germany and Romania, are now at fighting for their lives.
Yeah,
Fighting
against
for their
each
last
other.
qualification spot. Yeah, against each other. They both started today in the red, which is crazy.
Yeah, though right now
For their
Romania is in the
reputation.
green. They're in 7th right now.
Romania and Germany were the top two in Euros. They were Euros finalists last year, and now they're fighting for the last spot. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's that definitely is. I mean, you could see there just isn't. I mean, Germany still has a lot of points to cover right now. I see they have 8 points, and they need to get to 15 to be at the line, which definitely isn't really that easy of a task to say here. They're gonna want completions. They're gonna want them soon. And a team, mind you, Germany made the GD Euros final last year. There's that to consider.
There's a current player progress. Oh, actually, speaking of Germany needing completions, well, I was gonna mention Jonas as far. Jonas just died in the 70s. It's gonna be a little bit unfortunate. Angel though in the 50s, so see if Angel could pick up completion or at least get some.
Baltics now is back into their Baltics now is back into the red for the time being, and it's actually going to be it's potentially Italy that could either pull them into the Euros or spoil their chances of qualifying, because right now they're tied with Denmark on points, but Denmark has a tiebreaker over the Baltics. So currently Baltics would their priority would be below, and that's for the moment that's almost all dependent on how that goes here, though. They do have Belarus to catch up to soon, and I think passing Sweden would make it like a pretty close to a done deal that they'll finish above them, but again, it's something you never really know. That's still like, that's a lot of points to expect from them as well. Sudi has been having quite a few, though. I mean, at the moment, the individual MVP is USB, though, and that's not even particularly close. 2,214 points scored by USB alone.
Has anyone even gotten near that?
No, the next place is Hot Noob with 1,818. So even though Russia is going out of the tournament, they didn't go without like one more push at like a really high score.
They gave something.
Because that's true, because they definitely don't want to just like completely like embarrass themselves and finish like last or something. Like that would be like an actually like a tragedy for them, considering how good of a team that they've been. One thing I'll say about Russia, though, is as good as they've been, they have played with fire. They were the very last team to qualify for the GD World Tournament last year. They were number 16 of 16. They did qualify, which is an accomplishment, but they were the last one to do so. This year, they finished 4th in the, meaning that they were the last team in their region in the East Euros to get the automatic qualifier spot. We can see Marsix at the ending gets a completion there. Will be more points for Italy.
If you're Mark 6, probably feeling very good. I watched Mark 6 die in the 90s at least twice, and I could have missed more. Look for Mark 6 right now, feeling pretty good. As for the rest of the players, we've got Sudi and Murder, both in the 60s now. We got Angel in the 40s, about 10 to the 50s. No one else too far as a freshman. Although Italy, now decently ahead. I believe it was pretty close between Italy and the Baltics throughout. What's the match? Italy pulling decently far ahead of the other two teams now, but pretty close between the Baltics and Germany. Germany been catching up a little bit. Oh, the points updating a little further, but still, is a chance for Germany to pass the Baltics here.
Yeah, they are catching up to them, and the Baltics have cooled off. Well, actually, I wouldn't even say it's as much as the Baltics cooling off as much as Italy's kind of been heating up recently.
Yeah, there actually was just a completion from Murder as well.
There was, yeah.
But I think, yeah, compared to the start, Germany is doing decent better.
Yeah, they are. Their odds though are looking kind of bleak though for qualification at this point, and it would be pretty unfortunate for them. As I said, that's another Euro power. But again, there's so many teams that have just shooken up everything, right? Because mind you, Italy didn't qualify for the Euros last year, and now they're good. Czechoslovakia did qualify, but they were as two separate teams. They actually both made the same group, and so only one of them actually got out. But now they're like combined and really high up. So there's just a lot of different stuff that's been happening that kind of makes it so that getting like a higher position isn't like as like not getting like a top position isn't like as embarrassing as it would be like a year ago, where it used to be like if you didn't, there's some teams that like if you didn't make the knockout stage, it was kind of like, what are you doing, right? But not the case this year. Really, any of these teams could have just gone out.
Yeah, I haven't watched like an insane amount of World Tournament matches, but I do think it's been very interesting seeing like the teams that are qualifying.
Well, you didn't. One thing, I think that one thing that I think is interesting because you didn't really watch is compared to last year. People are just like a lot better. We are in the ending though of this match, and so now we will prepare to see who will finish higher between Baltics and Germany. This would actually be huge if Germany secures like a bit of this here. Angel dies kind of like right in time. All right.
That's gonna be
Two,
actually pretty
one.
good for Angel.
All right.
Last attempt.
Last
Alright,
attempt for
we're on the
everybody.
Last attempt here.
I'm looking at the Baltics.
I got Italy.
All right. And so, Julia will do Germany, and you can see still everybody's going on this last attempt, except now Murder has now
Murder
died, and
dies
that's
to
gonna
80.
end. That's gonna end Murder's
So
run
Murder,
here.
You are done.
Now Jonas is complete, and we could see Sudi has now ended
Oh,
their
30 died.
time,
Sudi
done,
dies. So
Sudi.
Sudi is finished.
and now
Yes,
Candy is
done.
done.
Marks is
Can
finished,
Dark
right?
Angel secure?
Marks is done.
If Angel gets the
Marks is
completion,
you are done.
would that be enough? I think it would be. They don't.
Oh, but Angel
They don't get
dies.
it. And now that is going to be
So that
everybody's done now
Jonas was
because
not on
Marsix
that
has been
list, yeah.
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, Jonas, you are done.
So
Oh,
final scores here.
I played so bad.
Final scores here. Germany gets 2,214. Baltics narrowly beats them with 2,389. If it was we'll see if it was enough to beat. Okay, now they have a pretty sizable lead on Denmark in points. Actually, they're a little bit behind
the
them
points
in
fully
this
updated?
match. Let me see.
I think Germany might be in a season. Oh, no. Okay.
No, they're not.
Sorry, go
So, looking at the live standings at the moment, Denmark would need a lot to go their way at this point to qualify. It's not looking the greatest for them, unless everybody else finishes below them but above Baltics, which is like about a 200-point range, where if 3 of them do that, Denmark will make it to the next round. But at the moment, it looks like they might be the last one in. Where it gets really interesting is that Baltics currently has 17 points. Portugal has 10 points and hasn't played yet. So if Portugal gets a placement towards like... What even happened here? Okay, there you go. I believe Portugal beating Denmark would be enough to secure them a spot in that would thus eliminate the Baltics. So we're gonna have to kind of watch a little bit nervously here. Pure Baltics here. They might have miscalculated what that is, but either way, it's all up. It's mainly for that qualification. It's up to Portugal, and then I guess if France just like totally pops off, then like that could also cause a little bit of chaos. But anyways, we're gonna head to break. We're gonna play our last match of the day. Thank you everybody for participating, and now we will see you in a bit.
Bye, guys.
Hello everybody, welcome to the final match of the day and the final match of the week, where we will find out who are the 8 teams that are going to be in. There's the leading contenders right now. It's mainly between Baltics and Portugal, but a few other teams have an outside chance to get in as well, depending on what happens around the board for everybody else as well. So anyways, everybody, get ready, and we will get started on the level. Kaisa, you're the only one that's playing. Kaisa.
I'm not playing.
Go to the.
What?
Oh, your screen share is lagging like crazy.
What? Wait, you want me to restart?
You can restart the Discord stream, maybe. Yeah.
Let me just. I have to go to Task Manager now.
Yeah, for us, you're at 12.
I'm like, oh, what? Still?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. They caught up.
Wait, is it fine now?
I mean,
yeah.
we'll see, I guess.
Right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it looks good. All right, everybody, get ready. We're gonna begin our final round. On my countdown, we will be beginning in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
All right, everybody, we have begun the final match of the day. So many other teams' hopes are kind of riding on this right here. It's all going to come down to the performances of all of these national teams. We have England, who is safely in, from what it looks like. We have Portugal, who is fighting for that spot. We have France, who has a very outside chance of making it, but still not super likely. And then we have the Netherlands, who, if they get top 5, they will win the qualifiers. Or the round 1, sorry. They'll be the round 1 champions.
The Netherlands in a very good spot. You mentioned France can qualify. What has to happen for France?
Delta's first run doesn't count. It didn't register on the sheet. I think
It didn't get 0, 0, 15, 7 are the only runs I have.
Yeah, but he's not. if you look back at the stream, you got like 47.
I think
At the,
Delta-
at the
Yeah,
very
47
start.
on collapse. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
so-
refresh, maybe?
No, it just didn't show up on the. It just
Oh,
it
there we
didn't
go.
send it. I had to add it myself.
Oh. Well, for current play progress, up Kaisa just dies to 71. Completion for
Decibel beats
Decibel
it.
would be
Yeah, you get a completion
our
from
first completion
Decibel.
between these four teams here. So Netherlands already the furthest ahead between these four teams. Really just aiming for top 5.
One sec, I just need
See
to
if they
pull
can
up
keep it
something.
Whoa.
People's screen share is freaking out a little bit.
I think you
Oh,
clicked off on...
most. Yep. Okay. There we go. 6.
Okay.
That's where our play progress now. We've got Mayrist in the 50s. Cax UK, hope I pronounced that correctly, also just entered the 60s. Mayrist did just die. Okay, so far no one too far ahead. It's just kind of the Netherlands going ahead here. Portugal not too far behind. Oh, England's ahead of Portugal.
Yeah, we'll see what they need at the moment. Yeah, England does have that narrow lead in Portugal's case. If they could take a point off England, that would be absolutely massive for them. But again, it doesn't seem like the. We'll see how that ends up happening on round 3. Points wise, there's still a lot. Portugal has a massive gap to clear in order to in order to qualify out of here, as the Baltics and Romania are tied with quite a few points on themselves. Baltics are listed in 7th here, but it's sort of that Romania performance that kind of changed a lot for Portugal's like out sort of chance to get in. But again, it's kind of like you never kind of
That's a
know.
Completion from Nebula.
Yeah,
So,
Nebula
yeah,
picks up a completion
points for
here.
England. The one thing I am interested in is I want to see if any of the teams here pass Romania scores.
Yeah, Decibel gets a completion, puts that 500. Delta Phantom gets one, and that's a double
Delta
completion for the Netherlands there. Already quite a few points for them to have.
3 completions in rapid session. A completion for Karma. as
Yeah,
well,
Karma
so
gets a completion for Portugal, which means that they have currently an 8-point lead over England.
I'm gonna be very happy if you're.
Again, the primary team to take down, the Baltics scored 2,389 points. Denmark scored 2,569 points. So that's kind of where it lies at the current rate here. We have right now Kaisa in the 60s, and again would just be
alongside
super meaningful
Nebula.
for them. Yep, Nebula is also far into the level themselves. England has a slight lead over Portugal. Portugal started. What were you gonna say?
It looks like Karma's first run also didn't count, so I'm gonna check that. Yeah, Karma got 58 that never registered, so I'm gonna add 58 there. So.
Well, Nebula goes back to back. Actually, that 58 points could make a difference for Portugal here, though, especially with that other completion that just happened. So.
Actually, I was gonna say could be the potential double completion coming through for England here, but a death from 79 or death to 79 is gonna take that away from England.
At least with Delta Phantom, now we know that this problem it doesn't for some reason only apply to Portuguese people, because before Deltas, like literally the only time we've had issues with points have been for Portugal players.
You know what's funny about this level, actually? The upload.
What are
of
you
this level
doing
only has
here?
one
Or did you
other-
just like crashed on the stream?
You joined like
He's
a
been here
couple minutes
since
ago.
the first,
Completion
since the
for
Russian
Karma.
one, I think.
Wait, what?
No, you weren't.
Haven't you been here like the entire time?
No, he just crashed the party.
Left, and then he came back like 2 minutes ago.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
bad.
My bad, I guess.
What's the interesting thing about this level? I'm assuming you have some
Yeah,
sort of
no,
like extreme demon knowledge about this. If you're gonna
Yeah,
say it's a
so
sequel to
the first
Breakout, I
one
know that
uploaded-
already.
No, actually, the uploader of this level only has 2 uploaded levels, like, or
It's
2
in
uploaded streams
Kosetsu,
to his
right?
account.
Yeah.
Yeah, this and Kosetsu. They're like 2
Well-
completely like polar opposites of each other.
Well,
You
it's-
would never guess that the same person
Well,
uploaded both.
the
of these,
person
and
who
yet he did.
verified this level is the person I reached out to get the CBF blocker removed from Kosetsu, because I knew that they knew them, because obviously they verified this level.
Ah, interesting.
But yeah, 47% run from Nebula, Delta to death here, and again, it's kind of just up to, you know, how many points is Portugal gonna put up here. They're actually kind of fighting close with the Netherlands as well, so that also becomes a big deal too. With Karma at the very end of, ooh, he kind of went on the slope a little bit there, which caused the cube to go, but he didn't get phased by it. Oh, you could just skip that orb? That's really funny. I didn't know that. I probably didn't pay
That's a
attention.
completion for Karma.
But yeah, Karma
That's
gets a
very good for
completion.
Portugal.
See if that...
On the other
Yeah.
note, we've got
It did enter, and now Portugal has a slight...
Here.
Wow. Jax UK gets a completion here, and now we have a 17-point gap between first and third at the moment. That's
Very
it.
competitive between these 3 teams here. Oh, England actually pulls ahead now.
Yeah.
With, I believe a death from Nebula.
For when we look at
So
points
very
accumulations
competitive between
are
these
going to
teams.
start to matter here the more we go into this match. I think it's going to look like that, like all of 3 of the 4 teams here are on track to score like about as much as Czechoslovakia did. Which would just sort of, again, increase that chasm between Baltics and whatever they get, and thus actually does make this road seem a little bit closer. Right now, there's still an 8-point gap, like full like team score gap, between Portugal and the Baltics here. Denmark has a 3-point gap, but it doesn't seem pretty likely unless like all these teams finish with like the same exact score. Then that wouldn't be the case. Again, now it's just a 42-point gap between first and third here. All these teams are absolutely playing with their lives right now. Karma's at the ending again. Karma had a crazy performance on Abandoned Planet. He did die though. Not a completion for Karma.
Curse.
Portugal
But
pulls ahead with a 200.
It does put them ahead. There's still a lot of points. However, Nebula's also at the ending, and a completion here would give England back the lead. So there's that too.
Let's see if Nebula takes it back.
I didn't see that.
There you go.
And
There's
just
the
like
lead
that,
back for
completion
England.
Nebula. So that's gonna put England back ahead of Portugal here by a mere 51 points.
Various at the ending. See if they can get a completion for France. Always good to see more points on the board.
Although right now we could potentially see, I was gonna say, could see the Netherlands catch up to both these teams here. Although Delta Phantom and Decibel both die. There is a completion coming through for France. Mayrish picks up the completion. Hello. Arms, I believe. I'm not sure where Karma's at. I cannot see the percentage. So just a 40-point gap between England and Portugal here. Still between first and third, only 152 points, so still really anyone's game between these 3 teams.
Definitely, yeah.
Pretty far behind. Gonna be rough for them.
Karma's at the ending again here, and Karma's just been on an absolute tear. For that is, he has 3 completions, but a death at 91 and a death at 89, and now it's his 4th completion. So there's more points for Portugal on the board. Nebula's at the ending again though, and that would you know, help England if Nebula could finish this with a completion. They seem pretty safe to be in, but you know, this, you always want to have that seeding in place, right? Delta Phantom's at the ending again. Netherlands have been running a little bit further behind in recent, but you can now see it's just a 14-point.
Here could be.
It's just a 14-point gap here between England and Portugal here. Portugal has now jumped into 10th place.
I would double completion from the Netherlands players here actually puts them ahead of Portugal and England, which will put them in first between these 4 teams here. that we saw a lot of players die decently far, so no one too far yet. Although both players from England, I was gonna say they were synced, but Nebula just dies.
The Netherlands
So
had a
that's just
brief
the
lead,
action
so
points
it's now, but now it's just everybody's around the same point value. That this is just like, just seems like this is gonna take us all the way to the end here, and you'll never know what.
It's just been. Don't know what could happen. It's been neck and neck between these teams here. Delta Phantom was decently far, but did just die. So now that's just going to be a 40. Oh no, Portugal's first couple more points. So it's going to be a 109 point difference between first and third here. Netherlands not too far behind Portugal. England not too far behind either team.
You can see Karma and Nebula are perfectly in sync right now. Is that to keep in mind? Though Nebula gets a death, and so does Cax. This might actually be very meaningful for Portugal here. Karma did die as well, but it was a little bit further. So it's a slight boost in that case, but even still, only 111 points. Everybody's within a completion, but amongst those top three here, Portugal's still in still in 10th place, which doesn't seem to be enough. But there's only a 2-point gap between them and the Baltics. They're really catching up to the Baltics when it comes to this. If they reach like around the 3,000 mark, it seems pretty likely they might be able to get this final spot. But again, the Baltics had a bit of a point lead on them. They'll have to see if they can overcome that for the rest of this match. We are in the final 2 minutes. Everything's going to be decided here. Will it be Baltics? Will it be Portugal? Will it be Denmark? It actually still, I think, technically could be Denmark. But,
I think
Kaisa gets a death at 48. Nope. Just about a minute and a half left to go in this match here.
Yep. Still entirely possible for having Portugal to pull ahead of, was it the Baltics?
It would be the Baltics, yes. It's between Portugal and the Baltics here. Portugal still remains they still remain in 10th place at the moment. So they're only 1 point. We might actually end on a 3-way tie. At the moment, Denmark is actually going to qualify for this remainder of time. We'll see if that ends up changing, but for just a short moment, both Portugal and Baltics would be left out in favor of Denmark taking the last spot. We're in the final minute. Karma gets a completion. We'll see if this adds any points to them. Does it?
We've got Kaisa
hasn't updated here yet.
Well. That'd also be a game changer.
Do this a points refresh here, and that puts Portugal currently in qualifying position. However, at the moment, they have a 1-point gap over the Baltics. If England takes it away from them or the Netherlands takes it away from them, I believe that would mean that they would actually not qualify. So it's going to be all down to if Portugal can take down both England and the Netherlands on this last 20 seconds. It's all going to come down to this. Delta Phantom just picked up a death, which might actually be a good thing for the Netherlands. Both the English players are in the 40s. We're into the final 10 seconds. Kaisa dies at 98, but he's going to have a time for another completion. This is going to be absolutely massive here. 3, 2, 1. All right, time is now up.
That's it. Everyone on their last attempt.
Everybody's on their last attempt.
Both players from England in the 60s.
Pax UK is now done. This will be massive for them. For Portugal, it looks like Spitbo is now done. Decibel gets a completion, ending it off right there. Kaisa's done. I believe they're done. Yep, they are done as well. So it'll all be remaining on these last attempts. At the moment, I believe this is going to be, so Nebula's going to get this. It's going to be a completion. I think Portugal has to beat the level on this attempt for it to be. It's going to give them the points for just a little bit.
Phantom is done.
It's all going to come down to this. It's a completion, and Portugal is moving on. Portugal. And there is everybody, and that is absolutely remarkable. The final score here, as we could see, Portugal actually finishes in 6th overall. They didn't just get 8th, they got 6th overall. So they actually somewhat qualified comfortably. They finished in 2nd place on the day, only about 100 points behind Romania. What a performance for Portugal. Karma ends up being second to the MVP. USB is still the MVP of the day. And so, the Netherlands still finish as the champion, as they did finish in sixth, but Portugal, it kind of helped them in a sense for doing that well, because it prevented England from getting close. It prevented a few other teams, because England also didn't score a crazy amount. They got seventh. But, wow, that's such a crazy, because between second place and seventh place is only about a completion. That's why everything changed so fast. But it is Portugal that takes the final spot. So our 8 teams are going to be, we have 4th place from last year's Euros, the champion of this round. We have the Netherlands, a team that did make a team that used to be fractured into 2, now united into 1. Czechoslovakia, a team that last year looked like they were on track to qualify for the knockout stage until their player randomly had to drop out before the last match. England gets in. They also had got knocked out during final qualifiers, effectively off the Baltics, who wound up dropping out the next round anyway, so they effectively spoiled it for them. In 4th place, you have Ukraine, a team that made the GD World Tournament knockout stage last year, had a great performance in their regional qualifiers, getting 2nd place. In 5th place, you have Italy, a team that is probably outperforming what many people would have figured. Italy has never made the GD World Tournament. They have now made the GD World Tournament last 8th. Portugal finished in 20... What was it? Was it like 24th place? Like... I'm gonna look at this, actually. They finished in 22nd place in the Euros last year. They are now competing in the last 8. Romania, the champions of last year's Euros, they will have a chance to defend their title. And in 8th place, holding on to the last spot, is Sweden. Sweden does get to qualify for the next round. If we're talking about regional representation here, we can see at the West has 1, 2, 3 teams. It looks like we got 3 out of the West. We got 3 out of the East, and then 2 out of the North. So kind of wound up being pretty similar to what a lot of people probably would have figured, but not in the fashion it happened. Like, wow, the fact that Portugal didn't just get the last spot, they got 6th place. They won their region, but again, going into today, it wasn't looking like it was going to be the case. As for the teams that did not make it, in 9th place, you have the Baltics. They finished with 18 points, barely missed out. Unfortunate for them, but that's kind of the way it is here. 10th place, you got Denmark. For a brief moment, with a minute to go, Denmark was in 8th. They do finish in 10th, though. 11th place, 11th, 12th, and 13th is a bit of a surprise here. You got Germany at 11th after making the Euro final last year. You got Russia at 12th. You got after qualifying for the World Tournament last year. And you have 13, France, who also qualified for the World Tournament last year. In last place, you have Belarus, who finished with 4 points. Of these 8 teams that have qualified, let me figure this out. 1, 2. Okay, this is remarkable. Of the 8 teams that qualified for this round, only 3 of them actually played in last year's GD World Tournament. Those would be the Netherlands, Ukraine, and Romania. Sweden didn't play, Portugal didn't play, Italy didn't play, England didn't play, Czechoslovakia didn't play in the main GD World Tournament. There are as many teams that qualified for the World Tournament last year and did not get out of the round, as there are teams that qualified for the tournament last year and did make it. Or did and did not. Same amount of teams, 3 from each side. Good job to all of you. I am extremely excited to see how this final 8 will go. I think we could have a first-time champion. Maybe Romania can defend their title. We'll just have to see who it ends up being. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next week with we have the Asia Oceania Cup, which includes the teams of Australia, South Korea, and New Zealand, We have Malaysia, Israel, Turkey, and a brand new team, Vietnam, is playing in their first GD World Tournament event. So it'll be pretty early for those in the Americas region, but for Europe, it should be a pretty manageable time. We also have Americas, as I mentioned earlier in the stream. They also have a round next week. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.